What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Red Seat Radio. My name is Corbin, and please, God, just make it stop. We've already lost Kike this week, we've lost Garrett Whitlock this week, and now we are adding Nate Eovaldi to the injured list because today it was announced that Nate Eovaldi will be joining them on the IL for 15 days. And that is what we're going to talk about today, because this is by far the biggest injury blow that we've gotten yet this year. We're going to talk about Nate Eovaldi's injury, what it means for Nate and how he's going to return and what he's going to look like. And we're also going to talk about why this has such a huge impact on the Red Sox going forward. But before we get into that, do me a favor, make sure you guys have hit that subscribe button. If you haven't already, we are only about a couple hundred subscribers away from 1,500. So if you're new here, do us a favor and help us get there by hitting that button. Also, make sure you guys are hitting the like button on these videos as well. It is the best way to help out these videos, and it would mean a lot to me. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one. Let's get into it. So what put Nate Eovaldi on the IL? Well, what put Nate Eovaldi on the IL was lower back inflammation. It's a 15-day IL stint starting retroactively on 6/9, meaning that the 15 days that he is on the IL started on 6/9 technically. And this one is a little bit more concerning than the others because Kike and Whitlock were basically just soreness and inflammation in the hip, and that is something that you usually just rest up and you're good to go. But lower back injuries can be more prolonged and they could lead to worse things. My hope is that Nate Eovaldi is fully healthy and ready to go when he comes back, but there's the other side of me that really worries about the fact that this lower back inflammation can lead to a lot of other injuries and something that'll plague him all year. Another thing that's concerning about Nate Eovaldi on the IL this time is that after his start in Los Angeles, he said that his velo was down and he attributed it to hip soreness, and that is completely different than lower back soreness. So I'm wondering if maybe he got the pain mixed up and it felt like his hip, but it was really his lower back. But it could also be the fact that he has another underlying issue going on that he just wasn't placed on the IL for, and that could be another really concerning thing because Nate Eovaldi is our ace of this staff. So to lose Sale and now to lose Eovaldi on top of Whitlock is not a good look for the Red Sox. I'm really hopeful that Nate Eovaldi can come back fully healthy, but this is going to be an interesting couple of weeks for the Red Sox. And right now your starting rotation is kind of in pieces, right? You lost Whitlock, you lost Eovaldi, so now you're left with Nick Pivetta, who has been fantastic the last month. Sure, in the last outing he had technically had 4 earned runs, but let's be honest here, that was Sawamura's fault. So I'm going to say it's 2 earned runs and all the statistics can go shove it. We've got Waka, who has been consistently our best pitcher this year, but we saw him on short rest yesterday and he got tossed around a little bit. Not exactly what you want going forward. And you've got Rich Hill. We all know about Rich Hill, right? He has really good days, he has really bad days, and there's never really any in between. And to be honest with you, I don't think the Red Sox saw him being this major of a role in our rotation this year. Right now, he's going to have to really step it up. The Red Sox did replace Nate Eovaldi with a minor leaguer. They decided to go with Cutter Crawford because of his rest day rotation kind of matched up with what Nate Eovaldi was working with, and so he'll get the start today, and in my opinion, he'll probably be more of an opener than a starter, and that leads to my other point as to why this is such a big blow to the Red Sox. With Whitlock and Eovaldi out, you replace him with Cutter Crawford. You didn't really replace Whitlock with anyone who can start. You replace him with Philip Valdez. That means that the bullpen is going to be under more pressure than it has been all year. And you and I both know exactly how iffy this Red Sox bullpen can be. So you've got Cutter Crawford going, who's most likely going to be an opener rather than a starter. He'll probably go maximum 4 innings, which means for 5 innings, you're relying on your bullpen. And those other games are probably going to be a bullpen day. You'll probably have Tanner Houck started off, but again, he'll probably go a maximum 4 innings. And that's probably going to have to continue for at least another week. Whitlock's going to miss 3 starts. Valdi's probably going to miss 3 starts, so you're going to have to make that up. And this really sucks, and this could be a momentum killer for the Red Sox, which is not good. Not to mention that the starters in this rotation are going to have to really pick it up. The guys who remain are going to have to go deeper into games to allow our bullpen some rest in between these opener type starts. That's not really going to be an issue in my opinion for Pivetta or even Waka. Waka's kind of been a little bit short leash at the beginning of this year, but he's kind of proven that he can go deep into games. Nick Pivetta's gone deep into games ever since he got back to his true form. The only one I'm really concerned with in that regard is Rich Hill. His maximum length outing was 6 innings, I believe. So we're going to have to push Rich Hill, which I am not comfortable with at all. And I know Cora isn't very comfortable with it all. So all in all, this is just not a good look for the Boston Red Sox. I really hope that this IL craze stops here, because like I just said, we have so much momentum right now. We're finishing up a West Coast road trip that, whether or not we beat the Seattle Mariners today, we win 2 out of 3 series, or possibly even 3 out of 3 series. We're coming back to Boston above 500, ready to play the Oakland A's again, who we crushed already. And so there's a lot of momentum built up, but all these injuries, all these new players, all these uncertain roles going forward for the next, 2 weeks is going to be an issue in my opinion, and it's not something that I think any of us really expected. Yes, injuries are going to happen, and that's just how baseball works. It's a very long season. Guys are going to be on the IL off and on throughout the year, but to have 3 pretty major guys on the IL at once all of a sudden is definitely not good, and I'm not excited. So I'm hoping and praying that this stops here. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think of this injury. Do you think it's going to be a longer term injury and have longer term effects for Nate Eovaldi than it will for Whitlock and Kike? Do you think that he comes back and he's fully healthy? What are your thoughts on that? And how do you think this is going to impact the Red Sox? My hope is that they kind of mess around with bringing up some of those guys that we mentioned in the other video. We talked about Whitlock, Siebel, Bayo maybe even getting a start in there, Winkowski maybe. Bring up those guys so you're not relying on your bullpen, in my opinion. But let me know what you guys think. What is the solution to this? How do you keep the momentum going when you lose 2 out of 5 of your starters? Let me know all your thoughts on this down below. As always, if you've made it to the end of these videos, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, make sure you guys hit that like button, make sure you guys share these videos with a friend. This is a new thing that I'm trying out, but it would help out a ton to share this video with someone you know who loves the Red Sox. So make sure you guys are doing that. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one, and I will see you in the red seats.